Alright, you guys, welcome back to the channel. Here for some more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero DLC Pack 4 contents. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit more about the stages. I have been seeing some commotion within the community, nothing too crazy, but people have been asking, will the additional stages be part of a free update, or will they be locked behind the Super Limit Breaking Neo DLC pack? In my personal opinion, I do think we will have to pay for these upcoming stages. I do think it's pretty dang clear, but I also understand the question, just because if we take a look at the entirety of Sparking Zero, they've only given us one additional stage. Now, at the time of DLC Pack 3, we didn't know if we were even going to be getting one, because for DLC 1, the Superhero Pack, they didn't include the Red Ribbon Base as a free update, or within the DLC for DLC Pack 2, they didn't include Demon Realm 3 or Demon Realm 2 part of a free update, or within the actual pack itself. It wasn't until DLC 3 where we finally got an additional stage for the game, and it was the first Demon Realm, and yes, this was part of a free update. We did not have to pay to unlock this stage. So I do understand why people are asking if these stages will be part of a free update. If we go up here, it quite literally says the Neo DLC for Sparking Zero is here. New playable characters, costumes, moves, stages, right? They say literally nothing about a free update. The only confirmation that we have that will be parts of the free update is the new battle system. So Dragon Ball Games went ahead and put out this tweet: new characters, stages, and game mode. Take it to the next level with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero's Limit Breaking Neo DLC that drops summer of 2026, plus a free update introducing a new battle system. So they're referring to the last piece of information right here, the Chain Blast, and some improvements to the sparking mode right here, Sparking Boost. These two features will be implemented before the major Super Limit Breaking Neo DLC drops as the free update, because typically they would update the game, patch notes, buffs, nerfs, and then the Chain Blast and Sparking Boost improvements are going to be tagging along that free update, as mentioned up above in this tree here. Again, I do think it is clear that these stages will be part of the paid stuff. And by the way, if you haven't heard by now, these are going to be the additional stages we will be getting: Kami's Palace, the Kame House, Glacier, and the two variations of Outer Space, Earth, and Planet Vegeta. To me, it seems like they're just bringing back all the original stages from the prequels, BT3, because we don't see any new stages from Dragon Ball Super, and that's a huge focus point for Sparking Zero in today's age, right? So where's all the Super stages, which I do feel like we'll be getting additional stages later down the line beyond the Super Limit Breaking Neo DLC. We'll go ahead and speculate about that in the second half of today's video as well. Another thing I want to mention, if we go over to the actual DLC trailer, it does say available summer 2026. Doesn't necessarily say free updates or DLC anywhere, but on the website it clearly does say DLC. We have the new visual art piece with the 4 main categories. Now, if we go over here to DLC Pack 3, they actually did the entire showcase over here on the first Demon Realm, right? Showcasing the additional characters, Goma, Goku, mini forms, adult forms, all that good stuff, right? And if we go to the end of the trailer right here, notice how they don't promote the first Demon World stage within the actual DLC 3 pack content, because if they did, that wouldn't be correct marketing, right? Because we know that the stage is going to be a free update, right, at the time. So it makes sense for the stage not to be paired up with the DLC 3 pack. But if we go back to the Super Limit Breaking Neo, you can clearly see that the stages are being promoted with the other DLC content, characters, customizations, and game mode. So yes, the stages will be part of Super Limit Breaking Neo, and no, they're not going to be part of the free update. Hey, I could totally be wrong. We just have to wait until it actually comes out. But to me, it is also strange how they decided to give us a free stage beforehand, and now they're making us pay for the stages. Now, the reason why I feel like we have to pay for these ones is because it's just going to be more than just one, right? We do have to keep in mind that during this phase of Sparking Zero, it was the first season. You know, they were trying their best to listen to our feedback and criticism because they were just dropping characters. And we were saying, where's all the content? Where's all the game modes? Where's the additional stages? So I kind of feel like they just threw in this stage as a freebie. And it's not until the Super Limit Breaking Neo is where we're going to be getting all the cool additional stuff that we've been asking for. So, yeah, that's my talk behind all of this. Now, if we go over to BT3, all the stages that they have in this game, we're just going to be talking about the future of Sparking Zero, what they could potentially add later on. Here we have the iconic stages, right? And I think we're missing about 9 or 10 from the original games. So Planet Vegeta stage, that will be a great one to add. Outer Space, that's what we're getting with the upcoming DLC. World Tournament, Rocky Area, we already have those in the original game. Wastelands, I think this is also in Sparking Zero, but it just goes by a different name. Open Fields, correct? City Ruins have that. Mountain Road, dude, you already know they're saving this one for the Ultra Meteor DLC pack. This is extremely popular, and I can't wait for them to throw this one in. Island, we have Glacier, we're getting with this upcoming DLC. Cell Games already have it. Desert will be a cool addition. King's Castle, Muscle Tower, some OG Dragon Ball representation since we're getting a lot more of those characters now. Kame House, part of the upcoming DLC. Penguin Village will be a cool one. Mount Paozu, another popular one. Ruined Earth, dude, we're missing all these epic stages. Come on, man. Supreme Kai's Worlds have it. Room of Spare of Time have it. Kame's Lookout, we're getting that. So again, we are missing about 9 or 10 of these stages, and I do think eventually later down the line they will be including all these. Now, shoutouts to Shinai over here for creating this very cool concept piece of what they could add later down the line. They said, what stages would you like to see added to Sparking Zero moving forward? So far, we've already gotten the 4 additional stages, the Glacier, Outer Space variations, Kami's House, and Kami's Palace, right? But honestly, if the game is going to keep expanding its arena variety, there's still plenty of room for more. Are we satisfied, or do we need even more? No, we need all the stages from BT3, and we need all the stages that we haven't seen within the franchise just yet, because again, Dragon Ball Super is a big part of this game. So here we have the additional stages. A lot of them we just went over, but Xeno Exhibition. Ooh, you know, Topo versus Gohan, was it? Or Goku, and then it was Gohan versus Lavendale or Bazel. No, it was Bergamo. I've only seen Dragon Ball Super once. Cut me some slack. But that would be a great addition to the game. Some super representation, right? Capsule Corporation. I'm assuming just like outside the area, because there's a modded stage of Capsule Corporation. Kind of cool. It's actually part of the main menu. I think that's what they're referring to when they say this. Beerus's Planets. It is bizarre. For the base game, they only included 12 stages. That's strange, right? Like, come on, man. At least include all the ones from BT3. Otherworld Planet. Oh, we got PyCon. That's what I was saying from before. If they're including PyCon, why not just throw in Otherworld stage? And also Super Kaioken Goku into the mix. You know, just complete that tournament, and then that's all people would ask for in regards to this specific stage and character, right? Mount Paozu, Planet Toph, bro. I'm saying, man, we need more of that GT representation. This was not in BT3, so how cool would it be to play on Planet Toph for the very first time? It is in other video games like Xenoverse 2, and it is one of my favorite stages, not going to lie. Just always recreating iconic scenes from the GT anime is top tier stuff. King Kai's Planet, dude, so many recreations we can do with this one. Battle of Gods, for example, you know, they're adding 20 plus customizations. Will we get the Goku with the blue jumpsuit? And then just before he sparred with Beerus, he had changed to his original gi, Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3 bars. Anyway, Destroyers Tournament, Universe 6 versus Universe 7. Another great addition. Man, there's so many stages they could still include. This is why I feel like they're just going to be supporting Sparking Zero for a decade, something similar to Xenoverse 2, because of what they could add in terms of character customization stages. You know what I mean? Analysis: the addition of 3 new stages and a variation is a great step forward for Sparking Zero's in environmental variety. I agree. That said, Dragon Ball still has a vast catalog of iconic and memorable locations that remain unexplored. What stages do you think should be prioritized next, or is 4 stages enough content? No, we need additional stages for future DLC packs, but yeah, same question to you guys. Comment down below. What's the next few stages you personally would like to see? More stages that we haven't seen before, like the super ones, or more of the returning stages like Mountain Road, or maybe a mixture of both? I think a mixture of both moving forward would be the best case scenario in my personal opinion. Here we have even more stages to look forward to in the future, hopefully. Ruined Earth Classic Tournament. Ooh, dude, that could actually be a variant of the already existing World Tournaments, even though it's completely different designs, foundation, you know, the architecture of everything. Well, the main center piece, I guess, is the same, but I could actually see, like, the older era of the Budokai Tenkaichi Tournament just being a variation. For example, Ruined Earth, or... no, I need a better example. Red Ruin Base. Yeah, so if they decide to include the OG Dragon Ball, you know, let's have the variation of the one from the superhero movie, the updated one, right? That kind of makes sense. Anyway, so the deserts, shout out to Yamcha, Penguin Village, King's Castle. Yeah, again, all of the OG representation. Tree of Might. Ooh, some more exclusive Z film stages. Yeah! Imagine the Dying Planet from the first Dragon Ball Z Broly movie. Dang, top tier stuff. We don't even have the basic sky map, man. Come on. Bitter Thundra destroyed after Broly did his gigantic energy blast, completely changed the environment. Cavern inside the cave. The new stages raise much larger questions. Will future DLC continue to expand the arena roster? Are fan-requested stages like these already being considered or evaluated? And if so, will all the content stages from BT3 be the top priority? As I mentioned before, are they just going to be focusing on BT3, which it kind of seems like it, at least with this upcoming Super Limit Neo DLC. However, when they were displaying the stages within the trailer, it kind of seemed like this stage, the Glacier one, is more from the DBS Broly movie, right? Because of the battle, how it kind of looks like. But again, it's still the same area from the normal Dragon Ball world, Glacier, you know what I mean? Same thing goes for the outer space. We even got the same question for the game mode itself, which I previously talked about. They dropped the Mission 100 and Survival mode for the free updates. But for some reason, again, I do think this one here, just because it's going to be a bit more in-depth, we have every single character from the roster we get to choose from and go through the entire journey to leveling them up, you know, upgrading our auras, taking the upgraded characters to online battles. Yeah, I do think this game mode will be part of the paid content as well. Could be wrong though. We'll just have to wait and see. This is it for today's video. Thank you guys for the immense support, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace!